Welcome. Each week I do a statistical analysis of the data we're getting about the Covid-19 pandemic in order to see what's going on. Now, I should warn you that the data I get from various countries and different states is not necessarily consistent one with another. However, there is sufficient data now to draw significant statistical conclusions. I've entitled this video Second Wave, and it covers the data ending the 10th of May 2020. We'll start with a brief summary of the situation. The number of cases worldwide has reached 4 million. That's 900,000 larger than last week. US cases are 1.3 million, and that's 440,000 larger than last week. Number of deaths worldwide is 280,000. That's up 30,000. US deaths are to 80,000, and that's up 12,000. Some countries and states are lifting or easing restrictions. However, there's indications in a few countries that started this process a couple of weeks ago that there's a second wave of infections coming. Those of you who have seen my previous videos on this subject will recognize this plot. The red curve shows the number of cases as a function of time, and you can see that it's stubbornly continuing to rise at a uniform rate. If we project that rate out into the future, we will see that we'll reach about 5 million cases by the 24th of May, i.e. in a couple of weeks' time. What we really want to see is this curve bend over to the right, and it's stubbornly not doing so. Unfortunately, if we get a second wave, this curve will bend to the left, and that's something we must look out for in these data in the future. This is the equivalent plot for the United States, and you can see it's following very much the same trajectory as the world figures. That's mainly because the US is contributing most new cases to the world figures. If you follow this trajectory on up, it's still a straight line, and what we really want to see is a curve looking more like that. The latest projections for the number of deaths by August 1st by the United States government is 142,000. That's up 22,000 from earlier this month, and more than double what the original estimates were from last month. So this is not a good situation that we've got ourselves into. There are increasing worries about a second wave. Now, we've heard about second waves for quite some time now, but now there's some evidence that it's going to occur. China, South Korea and Iran have all seen increases in the case numbers after some of their restrictions have been relaxed. There's also this very mysterious illness that is affecting children in New York. It says 75 children here, but it's now, I understand from this morning's news, 85 children, of which 3 are dead, are showing some form of toxic shock. This is an inflammation of the blood cells. This is believed to be associated with exposure to Covid-19. So our hope that the younger people will not be as badly affected is probably wrong. There's breaking news that the virus has penetrated the White House, and this is somewhat surprising because of the security measures that have been put in place to prevent this from happening. They've had regular testing, deep cleaning of many of the areas, and extensive screening of all visitors. Despite that, 2 White House aides have been tested positive for the virus, and several Secret Service agents apparently have also been tested positive. Now members of the White House task force are being forced to be in self-isolation for a couple of weeks, including Dr. Fauci. This is very alarming because with this sort of level of protection in place and the virus still managing to penetrate it, imagine what the situation is for those workers going back to ordinary jobs with nothing like this level of protection. This is what I call my 7 pillars of wisdom in this particular crisis. Stay at home unless you absolutely must go out. When out, stay away from crowds and densely packed places. Maintain social distancing at all times. Wear a mask. Don't touch your face. That's difficult. Treat anything you receive as if it was covered with the virus, i.e. use gloves, wipe it down with alcohol wipes, and leave it for as long as you can without touching it after you've done all of that. Toss the gloves. Wash your hands after handling packages, mail, money, etc. If you've touched a handle that somebody else is likely to have touched, or a railing, wash your hands again. So until next time, please stay safe and goodbye.